Well, I know you guys like compliments. That's why I'm bringing you another compliment top 10 list. This is the niche version, of course. If it's your first time on my channel, I'm Lee. Welcome to Lee Style and Fragrance. Here, I teach various topics like men's style, fragrance, a little bit of grooming, some vlogs, and I also throw a dash of confidence at you. If you're a returning subscriber, you guys are the best, but you already know this, LSF fan. If any of those topics I just discussed interest you, please make sure you hit that sub and that notification so anytime I drop a video, you guys will be first in line. So before I get into this list, I want to start off with some honorable mentions because I don't really know what to call these guys. I don't know if to call them niche, I don't know if they're not niche, but I know when it comes to compliments, these guys are monsters. Number one, we have Alexandria's White Zest, which is pretty much, I don't know if it's fair to call this niche either because they made this clone of a non-niche fragrance, but it is a clone of Chanel's Edition Blanche. But anyway, this is a compliment monster by Alexandria. Second one is actually one of my favorite and one of my most complimented fragrances ever, which is X Batch by Parfums Vintage or Pineapple Vintage, whatever you guys want to call them, I don't know. But this guy's a monster. It's pretty much a blend between Dior Sauvage and Aventus in a way, but created something totally new. Both of these have their full review on my page, so if you haven't watched them, please make sure you watch them so you can know everything about them. Now, when it comes to this list, honestly, this was even harder to make than the designer version. This was very, very difficult to make, but I finally came up with a top 10 and top 5, pretty much any of them could be number 1, honestly. So, number 10 spot, you have Dolce Gabbana's Velvet Wood. This is luxury in a bottle. It's sweet, it's masculine, it's very woody and smoky. You are looking at 3 notes, which is ebony wood, benzoin, and leather. And wow, when I tell you this smells absolutely, absolutely phenomenal, it is an understatement. And it's ridiculous that this is the first one that's on the list. Like, this is number 10. Just thinking about it is crazy. And I feel like, honestly, when it comes to overall smell, this is top 5 worthy, but when it comes to performance, that's what drops it all the way to top 10. This is something that I would wear mostly in the fall, little bit of winter if it's not that chilly out, but dress it up, dress it down, very good for close encounter because of how sexy it smells. Number 10, you have Velvet Wood by Dolce & Gabbana. Number 9, you have Memoirs of a Trespasser by Imaginary Authors. When I tell you this is the realest vanilla I've ever smelled, I absolutely mean it. This doesn't smell like a vanilla cake or vanilla candy. It smells like real, natural vanilla, which I really appreciate. You are getting notes of vanilla, of course, Gaiac wood, so it gives it a slight citrus touch to it, but it's very woody and warm and masculine. This is something that is absolutely a killer when it comes to compliments. People absolutely love this scent, and I see why. Imaginary Authors are geniuses in pretty much getting very realistic smells. And this is very, very unique. There's not really anything out there that smells like this, which is another reason I appreciate this. So, as far as when to wear this, fall and winter is more suitable for this fragrance. It just cuts through all that cold. It performs wonderful. For the number 9 spot, you have Imaginary Authors, Memoirs of a Trespasser. Number 8 spot, you have another Imaginary Authors, and this is actually their newest release. And it's crazy for the short amount of time that I've received as much compliments as it has. But we're talking about none other than Sundrunk. And that name honestly couldn't be more perfect for this fragrance. You are talking about rhubarb, orange, and neroli, which pretty much what neroli is, it's just a bitter orange flower. So it's an orange smell and it's also slightly floral. So you get a bunch of orange in this, absolutely, and that rhubarb is pretty much like a sweet, almost like a Twizzler smell to it. So this smells absolutely amazing. When it comes to the summertime, this is a summer monster. Citruses do very well in the summertime, and this just reminds me of very happy, beachy scent. And that's why I chose this for my birthday. Please check out the full review of Sundrunk on my page if you haven't checked it out already. So for the number 8 spot, you have Sundrunk by Imaginary Authors. Number 7, you have my favorite creed, Royal Oud. Wow, this is number 7. This list, I'm telling you, this list was so hard for me to make. But you are looking at notes of cedarwood, lemon, pink pepper, and of course, a touch of oud. You're not going to get the most oud out of this, and that's actually why I kind of like this, because when I first got into ouds, which wasn't too long ago, I couldn't really wear ouds that were too strong and in your face. So this is the perfect oud, in my opinion, for our beginner. And of course, there's other ouds out there that are very slight and are very good for people that are just getting into ouds. This is definitely at the top of the list. This is a very, very, very classy scent. It is James Bond in a bottle. This is something that I will think of somebody in that stature that they'll be wearing. It's very royal, so that name is very befitting. It just smells like royalty. It's masculine, it's mass appealing, people absolutely love it. I feel like this is more appropriate to be dressed up. So if you're wearing a suit, if you're looking very dapper, if you want to make a statement, if you want to feel like the man when you walk through, this is definitely the fragrance to wear right here. Number 7, you have Royal Oud by Creed. Wow, absolutely love this. Number 6, you have another Creed. And this was actually the first Creed I ever bought. Now, when I was first getting into Creeds, I kept hearing about Aventus, of course, and I smelled Aventus, and I thought it was amazing. But then, somebody else told me, you know, in this store, this is actually the number 2 seller. I smelled it, and right away, I forgot about Aventus. I was like, whoa. And we are talking about Milla Sol Imperial. This is another very, very classy and royal type of fragrance. But then again, their fragrances were made for royalty, and you can smell that in a lot of them. You are looking at fruit notes, sea salt, and musk. Now, sea salt, you're like, what does sea salt smell like? You guys know when you go to the beach or when you're around the sea, there's a certain smell. So you get that smell from this. Also, the fruit notes, it reminds me more of like pineapple, watermelon. So it's a very fruity scent, but in no way is it feminine. This one leans more on the unisex side, so it's something that both men and women could wear, but you're not going to walk around smelling girly if that's what you're worried about. I've received a ton of compliments wearing this. This is great for the summer and the spring. If you're going to the beach and you want to just smell absolutely phenomenal, this is what you wear. And it's funny because I remember when I first bought this, somebody was like, why would a fragrance cost this much? And I just opened it up for them and I was like, smell it. And you know why? They smelled it and they were just like, oh my gosh. Like, I've never smelled anything like this. I mean, these fragrances tend to have that effect on you. Higher quality ingredients from all over the world. And they don't smell like everything that's out there. So people don't even know that they have this caliber of fragrances out there. But when it comes to the compliment department, this is definitely at the top of the list. Milla Sol Imperial by Creed, coming in at your number 6 spot. That bottom 5 was crazy. So you already know that I'm about to bring you nothing but heat for this top 5. And for the number 5th spot, we have none other than my number 1 fragrance for the spring. If you guys didn't watch that, you guys must watch it. But it is Vetiver Fatal by Atelier. This right here, I don't even have enough words to sum up how beautiful this fragrance is. It's so complex, it's so sweet, it's so easy to wear, it's so easy to love. You are looking at notes of vetiver, of course. One of my favorite notes, plum, violet leaf, and some citruses. So when you first spray this, of course you get that vetiver, which comes off like fresh cut grass, but it's very sweet. So it's like a sweet, fresh cut grass. Then you get that plum, and it's just like, wow, you get like fresh cut grass, and fruity plum. Then you get those citruses, and it is absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love this fragrance. I don't know where this fragrance has been all my life, but all I know is I walked past the Atelier guy, and he knows me, and he pulled this out. He was like, "Oh, you like vetiver, huh?" Sprayed it on a piece of card, and I almost passed out. Like somebody had to hold me. Like I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" I had to have it, and next week I came back and I bought it. And when I was wearing it, everywhere I wore this, I received compliments heavily. And I absolutely love this fragrance, man. If you like compliments and you like vetiver, please check this out. You will not be disappointed. In my opinion, this is probably top 3 when it comes to vetiver scents that's out there. So number 5 spot, you have Vetiver Fatal by Atelier. Number 4 spot, you have one of the classiest, sexiest, warmest fragrances in my collection, and it is none other than Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This gem right here, you are looking at notes of amber, tonka bean, and labdanum. So the thing is, when it comes to amber and tonka bean, they pretty much both come off like vanilla-like, if that makes sense. So basically, you're gonna get a ton of vanilla in this fragrance. So you have this creamy, warm, vanilla-ish smell, and it almost comes off like orangey in a way too. So it's almost like an orange creamsicle. Actually, that's a really good, I just came up with that right off the top of the head. It's like an orange creamsicle. Thank you so much, Jesse, for putting me onto this. He put it on his list. He said it's a compliment piece. He was like, it's amazing. I was like, I never smelled it. He said, try it out. I went and smelled it, and I was like, I need this. I have to have it. I honestly thought when I first made this list, this was going to be number 1 when it came to compliments. The other 3 on this list were just killers when it came to the compliment department, and that's the only way this is number 4. But like I said before, any of these could be number 1. I absolutely love Grand Soir. The best time to wear this is something you can wear all year round just because of how warm it is, but I feel like it works best in the colder days. So your falls and your winters, I feel like it's best for this fragrance. So number 4 spot, you have Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Number 3 spot, this is something that I acquired recently, and I bought this because everybody in the fragrance community were raving about it, and they said, man, this is hot, especially for fall. You must have this. So I was like, you know what, let me blind buy it. And this is probably the best blind buy, not probably, this is absolutely the best blind buy for this year. But we are talking about Serge Lupin's Chergi. When I tell you the opening to this fragrance is gorgeous, oh my goodness, that is an understatement. You get notes of incense, tobacco, and honey. So you already know this is going to be a very sweet and smoky fragrance. Basically, in the opening, to me, it almost smells like a dark cherry. And I'm guessing that is the combination of the rose and the honey. But my goodness, it is amazing. And it's also powdery and it's very soft. But then when it dries down, it gets smoky. Man, this fragrance is just so complex in so many different ways. The way it transforms is just amazing, and the compliments from this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I didn't even make it to work, and I already had like 5 compliments the first time I wore this, which is ridiculous. Every time I wear this fragrance, I get a ton of compliments. I had people asking me where to get it, what is this? And it's crazy because I think I only had this for 2 months. So for me to only have this for 2 months and for this to make my list and really high on the list at number 3, you know this is a beast. So number 3 spot, you got Chergi by Serge Lupin. Number 2 spot, this was crazy because I absolutely thought this was going to make number 1. But it didn't, and you'll see why. But number 2 spot, you have Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. This is one of the most amazing leathers I have ever smelled. Used to be my number one. This used to be my favorite leather, but number one took over. But oh my gosh, you are looking at, whew, man, you're looking at notes of saffron, raspberry, leather, and suede. So why leather and suede? Pretty much suede is literally leather. It's just a non-aggressive form of leather. And them putting those two together was a match made in heaven. You definitely get those raspberries in the opening. You definitely get that saffron. Because saffron, unless it's toned down, you will always smell saffron. That's why a lot of leather fragrances that have saffron in it tend to kind of smell like Tuscan leather. But man, this is one of the most addicting and beautiful fragrances ever made. And maybe it's addicting because the opening kind of smells like cocaine, according to people out there. I don't know what cocaine smells like, alright? The compliments I've gotten from this is out of this world. And they're not even appropriate to say on here, honestly. But I've gotten some crazy compliments wearing this. So make sure you're prepared for that if you put this in your collection. Best time to wear this is in the fall and the winter, because the performance on this is ridiculous. Like, I don't even know what the number is. It's definitely past 10 hours easily. So it's well worth the price. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but honestly, something that performs this well, 2 sprays max should do it. But number 2 spot, you have Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. Alright, I know you guys are curious. You're like, what could have beat out Tuscan Leather? What could have took Tuscan Leather from your number 1 spot? But it is none other than African Leather. This is another one that I haven't had in my collection for that long, but the compliments on it were so ridiculous that it pretty much blew everything out of the water. But man, when I tell you to absolutely capture the essence of Africa in a bottle, is absolutely amazing. You are looking at notes of cardamom, leather, and cumin. Wow, this is just a very, very beautiful fragrance. It is sweet, it's spicy, it's masculine, it lasts long. You can dress this up, dress it down. This is definitely something that I would dress up more, perfect for the fall and the winter. There's absolutely not a doubt why this made my number 1 list, because it smells absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys so much for coming back one more time. If you're not already following me on Instagram, my name is Mr. Put Together. Make sure you check me out. And don't forget to smell stylish. Leave a comment, like, share this video, and of course, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.